everyone. Welcome to our Sunday night Unique Couples Live. How is everyone out there? Hi, we have a very special guest tonight, Miss Aunjane Johnson from Austin, Texas. How are you?
I'm doing great, Deborah. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So, thank all of you for tuning in. I'm going to be co hosting tonight for Vito and Linda. So, we are so excited to have you on. We have a very hot topic for you, and I know you're going to enjoy it. So, get your pads and pens ready, get ready to take some notes. And I have a few items I want to give you about unique couples. First, make sure that you subscribe to our Unique Couples YouTube page. That way, you can, when you comment, Linda and Vito will be able to see your comments. They'll know that you're on. So it's very important that you subscribe. Then, as we are going along, if you have questions, comments, just type your information into the chat and Anjane will be happy to answer your questions if it's about our topic tonight. If it's something else, Linda and Vito will get back with you. Now, if you don't know about unique couples, you are missing out. So you have to connect with Vito and Linda in their exclusive unique couples private group. And guess what? You can take your relationship to that next level. I mean, they have daily marriage tips and activities to do with your spouse. So in the chat, if you can put in there hashtag club, and Linda or Vito will get in contact with you. Now, this is an exclusive club and they give out lots of one-on-one information. So it is a limited amount of couples that they're taking in. So make sure that you put hashtag tag club in the chat tonight so that they can contact you and you won't miss out. Also, now we want to make sure that you don't miss out on, it's okay for you to be the wife, but you got to act like the mistress. You got to keep it hot and heavy. So look for more information on that during our topic tonight. Also, because unique couples got so much going on now. So that's why I say you better make sure you take notes so you'll miss out. They have a special 21-day couples connection challenge that's taking place. So if you want to be a part of that, you can click on the link. You'll see that in the comments as well. And we'll mention it again before we get off. But that's something else that you can do. And if you want to book your one-on-one relationship check-in session with Vito and Linda, you'll also want to put information in the comments. Click on the links so you can get in on that. But if you're serious about making sure that your marriage is where you want it to be, is still you're communicating well, laughing, having fun, spending time with your family, and everything is one working 100, you got to connect with unique couples. So thank you for listening to all my housekeeping. But we have to get some more information about our special guest tonight, Aunjane. And now I know that you're a mom of 6 and you're an entrepreneur and a financial expert, but tell us all about yourself.
Sure. Well, hello, everyone. As she said, my name is Aunjane. Feel free to call me AJ if you ever cannot say that. And I was born and raised here in Texas. I am a homeschooling mother of 6, and I have been a full-time entrepreneur for 6 years, and I've also been married for 8 years. So I really, just branched off into wanting to be the best wife and mother I possibly could. And I just felt like I couldn't do that. Working a regular 9 to 5, I felt like I was robbed of so much time with my family and really allowed me to, do better with my financial habits and really support my husband and just be that wife I wanted to be in life. So That's a little bit about me. I mean, I have history in like property management, and I went to college for accounting. I was not good at numbers at all until I got to the ninth grade. So don't ask me how I became this financial expert. I have no clue. I just started to understand spreadsheets, and when money was missing, I could find it, and I was like, okay, this might be a thing. And then I just kind of took off with it and found the basics and started teaching people about that.
Awesome. That sounds wonderful. So we're going to get an opportunity to get more information from Anjane before she leaves today. So we're going to get on into our topic, which is how to prevent toxic money habits in marriage. How to prevent toxic money habits in marriage. So Anjane, why have you decided to help people with their money problems?
Yes, I decided to help with money problems because I realized while in property management that people were losing everything right in front of me. And unfortunately, I had to evict them because they didn't understand how money worked at all. They would spend money on frivolous things. They would not prioritize, their bills. And sometimes I'd go into houses for inspections and the lights would be off. And I'd be like, why are your lights off? You have a Michael Kors purse. But I really didn't want to judge. I really wanted to have a conversation like, hey, let's talk about this. Like, where did you get these habits from? And unfortunately, in that field, you're not really allowed to do that, especially because it's about collect my money or put them out. So that's really what made me step away. And I was like, how can I create something where these people have somewhere to go to say, I didn't really grow up knowing how to budget. I didn't grow up knowing how to save. Can someone help me? Because I'm about to lose everything. And I don't want people to lose everything. I experienced my own little spout of, having displacement and not having a home or a car. And that's really tough. And no one wants to go through that. But sometimes we don't have the knowledge and the discipline instilled in us to avoid those situations. So that's really how I got started.
Yeah, that's good because most people they do what they have seen before. So they were raised a certain way, and if the parents
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that mindset about money, then they picked up
Mm-hmm.
those habits, and it just goes from generation to generation. That somebody kind of wakes up or somebody
Yeah,
learns something. So that's wonderful. Yeah.
pretty much. Yep.
Yep. You don't know what you don't know till somebody tells you.
Exactly. And I'm trying to be the person that tells them. That's all.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, y'all heard that. So we're gonna make sure that we get this information that she's gonna give you because she is here to assist. And everyone has someone assigned to assist you. You just gotta know who it is, and then once they give you that information, you have to listen. Because somebody she can sit and spend weeks explaining a process and what you need to do, and after the end of the process, you go off and do what you had been doing before. You're
You're
gonna have the
wasting your
same,
money and my time.
right?
you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you gotta invest in yourself and doing better, and then you gotta follow what you learn. So,
hmm
why is it important for couples and singles to know their toxic money beliefs?
Because truthfully, it starts with reflecting about yourself, like self discovery. What are those habits that you learned growing up that are not correct? As we go into the world and we get around different people as we grow up, we start to see things like, hey, I used to do this, but this doesn't seem right. Or, it's as simple as the food that we ate growing up. Some of us ate terrible. And I didn't realize till I got older, like, really, like, I don't want to say a brand, but certain brands of stuff, I'd be like, oh my goodness, I ate that. Like my family fed me that. And so when I got older, I told my kids, absolutely not. I only get this kind because you when you grow, you learn. And while you're out here trying to, catch on to the latest trends, try to make sure that you are mentally aligned with where you want to be. And that starts with dissecting the parts of you that are not good. Like, yeah, it's okay that grandma said, don't tell your man how much money you have because he'll take all of it and all of that stuff. She could say that all she wants, but if your grandmother was single and you're trying to have a marriage that lasts 40, 50, 60 years, then we have to not do that. That's not how that's going to work for you. So really comparing apples to apples what someone taught you versus what it's going to take to create the life you really want really is kind of how that starts, and that's why it's important.
All right. You had lived in a family and they were like, and they struggled, and so they wanted you to do better. So they would
Mm-hmm.
always just say, "Oh, well, go buy a car. Well, go get this, go get that," and you would just go get it. But it wasn't the problem about you going to get it, but could you afford it? And how were you
Mm-hmm.
paying for it? Were you charging, charging, charging? So that
Right.
wasn't good at all. Yeah.
Right, like living off of credit.
Wow.
You have people that have these credit accounts with these nice stores, but they can't afford to buy that stuff. But they need to give the look of, I have money, I'm wealthy. And wealth has nothing to do with that stuff. And once people get that in their mind of what real wealth is, then we'll all do so much better.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
I'm glad you think it's good.
All right. I don't see any comments yet, but I'm sure y'all should have some questions coming
It's
up.
all good. You have plenty for me here. So let's keep rolling with that. And then if they pop in some questions, hey.
All right. What are some mistakes that women make with their finances?
This question had me like, okay, we're not gonna talk about men, but it's cool because we're all female. So I'm like, okay. But some mistakes that women make is like the first thing I mentioned. Taking advice from women who do not have successful marriages and bringing that into theirs, especially when it comes to money. It doesn't matter if you share an account with your husband and you make six figures. If you trust your husband and y'all have, conversations and communicate about what the boundaries are with your funds, then that's fine. But not letting your single friend tell you, you don't need to share money with him. Why do you have a shared account with your husband? That's your business. That's not her business. Because where's her man? So I think the biggest thing is surrounding yourselves with wives who do not have those toxic habits that you can actually get advice from. So really, it starts with changing our surroundings. We try to hold on to people from the past who are not where we are in life because we don't want to act like, oh, just because I got married, I can't hang out with my single friends. I didn't say that. I said don't go to them for advice. And I
Mhm.
think that's the biggest thing. We don't differentiate who we say certain things to. Another, mistake women make is we don't educate ourselves as much as some men do. Now, I'm not saying all men do. Okay, all men do not educate themselves about money. But as women, we need to be right there with them. There's women teaching just like there's a female Tony Robbins somewhere teaching the same things. There's a female Dave Ramsey somewhere, but you
Right.
won't be in front of them because there's certain distractions that women have. We're trying to, come up with this look and, the long weave and the beautiful hair and the nails and the style and all of that. And because we need to look the part, we need to be the desirable wife. Yes, do that, all of that, but make sure you can afford that too, sis, because we don't want the house to get foreclosed and you have Fendi on. Like we don't, I mean, we need some balance. So that's what I feel in my heart, the mistakes that women make. There's more concern with their image than learning like investments and things like that. That's why I love when I see women in real estate and in different fields that create generational wealth because that's really what we need to be doing. It's not just a man's job because men are not immortal, just like us.
That's
Something
right.
happened, everything cannot fall apart because he's the only one that was financially literate.
Yeah, you see, hear so many stories. Well, not so much as we used to, but the husband dies and the wife
Mm-hmm.
is like, "Well, I don't know what to do. My husband, he had the bank account, he paid the bills. I don't know where this is. I don't know that." So both parties need to know everything about what's going on with their financial situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good thing to
Question. We have a question from Charmaine.
have. Okay.
How would a spouse help his or her partner to accept the fact they have toxic beliefs about money? Thank you for that question, Charmaine. So this comes with communication. Honey, grab the wine and sit them down and say, honey, we have to talk. There are that we're not going to just say you have toxic money habits and you need to do better. We're going to bring some things to light. Hey, I feel that what we do over here with our finances, the fact that when you get upset, you go spend $5,000 on random stuff is not okay, and it affects us financially, and it doesn't make me feel safe financially. So I would like for us to sit down and really just kind of go through everything, go through the finances, and just figure out what's going on. Both of us are not perfect. So let's try to get better together. Make it not so targeted on them, but on how can we both get better? Because you might like to go to get your hair, nails, toes, everything done, massage, the whole shebang, about $500 to $1,000, every 2 weeks. That could be affecting just as much as his emotional, spending. Because when guys go spend, it's like gadgets galore, like biggest TV they can find, like it's crazy. All these speakers, because they gotta have their bows. It's a lot, so I get it. But and as far as the acceptance goes, the way you get them to accept it is to not make them feel alone. So sit with them in it and be like, I get it. I understand that sometimes those things look really nice, or the beliefs that you have about money, like, hey, I make more money than you, so you should listen to me. Whatever those habits could be. Hey, we're in this together. Whatever money you make and whatever money I make, we should be putting this together somehow in some way to keep this household together. And as long as we're operating on separate spectrums, our marriage will not work. And I want our marriage to work. Always bring yourself into it so they can understand this is from your heart, not from you saying you're not doing right by money. You're toxic. I don't like your beliefs about money. Let's put the finger down. Get the wine out. Put the finger down. Charmaine, let me know if that answers your question. If you have any backup questions, just drop them in the chat for us.
Thank you so much for that question. All right. Okay. Again, for those of you who have tuned in after we got started, I am Deborah Smith, and I am the co-host tonight for Vito and Linda and Unique Couples. Please remember to join the wait list for Being the Wife and Acting Like the Mistress Masterclass. Being the Wife, but Acting Like the Mistress Masterclass. That is going to be held May 22nd and 23rd. And this year, only a few applicants will be accepted. So sign up and reserve your spot today. Oh, look, that Linda looks sexy. She got some tips for you.
I bet she does. I can't wait.
All right, Aunjane. Please share with us how to prevent toxic money habits in marriage.
So how you prevent them is first things first, before we even get to the marriage, figure out what their habits are first. Hey, what are some things you like to spend your money on that I might need to know about? If you have any habits, whether it's a smoking habit or they like video games, those games don't last forever. So you need to know these things. And hey, know what their income looks like. Are they on track to maybe make more money in the future? Does their attitude change a little bit when it comes to money? You notice they get like a little, I guess you could say, toxic when they get a check, and then when they broke, they're like, baby, I love you. You need to know these things. So you gotta know how to, if it's something that you can deal with for all these years that we want to be married. We don't get married for it to fail, but one way that it can fail is if you don't expose these habits. So if he has a habit that takes a lot from the household that he will use his last to do something with, you say, hey, babe, listen, I love you. We got to talk about this because I get it. You like to smoke. I understand. But if we are using the gas money to go get some cigarettes, this is a problem. Okay? It's more important for us to get to work and get the kids to school than it is to smoke cigarettes. So just addressing priorities, setting those boundaries, like, hey, whenever we have a purchase over a certain amount, let's talk about that. That, because it can get a little toxic if someone's just out here like they can go blow $2,000 out of the account and you go buy some $200 worth of clothes for Ross. Why did you do that? You don't need clothes. You didn't need that $5,000 worth of stuff, but you got that. That's how that argument starts. So then we say, hey, when we go to the store, we're not trying to control each other. We just want to stay in communication so that if anything hits the fan, everybody knows where the money went. Right. So if if it's a purchase over $300 or $500, whatever that number is you said, just quick call. Hey, babe, I'm thinking about buying this. It's going to be like $500. And you don't have to sit there and try to advocate for why you want it. Just say, hey, I'm at my limit. Just want to let you know we talked about this. And maybe your partner can be like, but baby, you have like 15 other sweaters. Like, why do you need those sweaters? Like, do you need it right now? Well, I thought they were cute. Okay, well, how about let's just get like a couple of colors that you don't have right now. We got a couple things going on this month. We're trying to buy a house. They can probably bring you back down because shopping can create this euphoria of, oh, I got it. It's in the savings account. I'm just going to move it. But then what is the savings account made for? That's not what that money's for. That means all those sweaters, sis. Just go get the prettiest one. Just any, mini, money, mo. Grab it and go. Like that's it. But just creating those things that it all really leads to communication. So creating things where y'all can talk about it. When like first off, all the expenses for the house, we need to sit down and write those out together. Lights, water, car notes, insurance, everything. So even if your husband is the person that's kind of financially responsible for the household, or if you guys work together, here's everything. This is what you take care of. This is what I take care of. Or this is what I'm balancing, babe. This is why I don't let you go on $2,000 shopping sprees every month. This is why I say call me when you're about to spend over $500. Because if this money is not here, then what happens? Especially if you're a stay-at-home wife. Sometimes you don't know these things. And how do I know? Because I'm also I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I don't work in an office. Now, this is my office, but you don't pay no attention. I just moved over here. It's going to be nice and beautified the next time I come on the show. But I say this to say my husband laid it out for me one day. Because, he gave me a credit card, had like a $500 limit on it. When I first started doing the whole stay-at-home wife thing, he was like, hey, nails done, hair done, whatever it is you need, just take care of it with this card. You need anything else, let me know. Well, at the time, we weren't in the best situation. So it was like, when you talk to people who are not in your situation, he gave you a $500 credit card. What are you going to do for $500? Well, first of all, I'm very good with any amount of money you give me, so it didn't bother me. It's what my husband had. And to allow other people to put in my mind that it was not enough was my first mistake. Because really, what was I buying? We had all these babies. Y'all heard I have 6 kids. I mean, really, he's taking care of the diapers and stuff. That's enough for me to go get my hair braided, go get my nails done if I wanted to take care of myself. I'm grateful he even did that because everybody's husband doesn't do that. But the way that I allowed myself to mentally see everything was when he just said, hey, babe, I'm at balancing like $4,000 worth of expenses. Then it bumped up to 7. Then it was like, okay, so what do you need from me? He was like, I don't need you to do anything. I just need you to know if you get mad at me, this is what I'm balancing. So that hopefully that gives you guys a full answer. I know it was pretty long-winded, but this is a master class, so I thought I should lay it all out there.
Right. And with that, and all of that, I kept hearing communication.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Expose everything from the beginning before you'll even get married.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it's one thing to think one thing, and then you get married and you find out, well, this person every other month they buying a Michael Kors bag, and every other day he has to have a carton of cigarettes, and all that stuff adds up. And it's like, okay, well, based on where we are now together and our budget, can we afford that? And,
right. And if it's something that she requires, are you in a position to afford that? Because some girls like that. I'm not a designer chick like that. I have one bottle of Versace perfume, and he got it because it was pink. And he was like, my wife would like that. But I wear it to networking events. That's it. I don't have a use for a bunch of designer stuff. But some women like that. Some women, that's their love language. But can you do that consistently for her if she's doing it for herself already? Can you come home with the bag and not be like, okay, how are we going to pay the mortgage? Like, that's not the life we want to live, guys.
Yeah. And you were talking earlier, you said like you went into homes and no lights, and doing, this one over here spending and that one over there spending and not communicating, then guess what? There's no money in the bank and we got expenses hitting. So that's why lights get cut off.
And then my job was to knock on the door.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I'm sorry. If you don't pay by the 15th, I have to evict you. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to sit down with them. What are you doing and what are you doing that y'all don't know about? Because both of y'all work. I got the check stubs to get you approved for the apartment. What happened? I wanted to do that. And my manager was like, stop doing that. I'm like, somebody has to help these people.
Yeah. Well, I got a quick question, and then let me put it out there. My husband doesn't do this, but okay. I run into a couple situations where I've heard people say, well, I didn't. Well, I did know that my spouse liked to gamble, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was as bad. But now that we're married, that's all they want to do. And then when they ask the husband, okay, well, what's your input on that? Well, I work hard. I want to gamble. I
Mm-hmm.
win sometimes, but they don't understand why they call it gambling for a reason. So it's
Yeah.
like, so what do you do in an instance like that? Would they have, if they gonna do it, should they have a set amount in their budget that you spend per month on gambling, and then that's just it?
So I definitely would say someone who has a gambling problem, once it gets to a certain point where they can handle it being addressed, we definitely want to be looking for resources for them. But also a set budget. You have this much money to go handle your situation. If you lose all of it, that's not my problem. We're not pulling any more out. And that's it. And then when you start setting those boundaries and they keep losing, they're gonna get tired of losing because there's nowhere else to pull. And this is this. So I want to understand. I want y'all to understand this. I was thinking about this earlier as I was figuring out like what I might need to say. There's a difference between boundaries and restrictions. In this situation, you have to do a healthy mix of both.
Okay.
We don't people get. I mean, let's be real. Stock market's gambling. Forex is gambling. It's all different forms of it out there. But it's a matter of how much can you afford to lose? And are you really going to put your mortgage money up for a gambling debt? Or are you going to say, listen, baby, this is what you have. Go work that out. Go to the casino, get your nerves together. I understand that's your thing. But if you lose all of it, that's not my problem. You come back with 5,000, wonderful. But that's so take out your little bit that you usually get out there 5,000 and go back, let's put that in the pot, and just kind of set those boundaries. And we don't want them to feel like they're like, oh, you're stopping me from doing what I want to do. No, this is not a healthy habit. And the only reason that you're able to do this is because we at least have a little bit of funds for it. But in the meantime, what you can be doing as wifey is looking at, okay, how do I help my husband with his gambling problem? What are some healthy alternatives to gambling? Get him something that, that can help. Okay, we have a question. And I think I just addressed your question. Is that correct? Coach Deborah? Did I address your question with the gambling?
Oh, yes.
Okay, awesome. We have another question. Okay, Charmaine is in it. Okay, I love it. Keep them coming, girl. What word of wisdom can you give when the spouse who is currently the main breadwinner is also the one who doesn't handle money well? Well, Charmaine, listen, that happens a lot, actually. That's usually how this goes, to be honest with you. So the best thing to do in that situation is plug into some financial literacy together. Education is going to fix that, because he may not feel like he doesn't handle money well, or he may know but don't really have the guidance on where to start or how to do that. So put on somebody like an influential person, put that on your phone while y'all are TikToking in the bed. Do something and just say, hey babe, there's a master class going on tonight. I want to learn some money stuff together. Let's sit down and let's watch this together. Maybe we'll both learn something. And if he gets offended, just say, hey, we both know that money doesn't get handled well here. And it's not your fault. It's not mine. We're not educated. Actually, I believe, what is it, 49% of the world, 50, somewhere around there, somewhere between 50 and 60% of the world is not educated about financial literacy at all. So we can't really blame either person. It's not in the school. So how would you know? And it was kind of in the textbook, but we didn't have a section in the lesson plan for that. Because I was the one that was looking. And I was like, why aren't we doing this? Like, I'm confused. But okay. So, Charmaine, let me know if that addresses your question. Sometimes you have to just put things in front of people and slowly introduce them to something different in order for them to change. And just testimonial moment. My husband started to watch certain videos about finances on his own, and then he got better. There was a time that, he would just be like, yeah, I'm good. I know how to make money. He's like a money magnet, so he wasn't worried about it. And then as our family grew, he was like, okay, I need to learn how to do this. So the first thing he mastered was credit. He just started looking up different videos, watching motivational stuff, and these speakers to talk about money stuff. So he'd go to the money videos, and he was like, oh, that's how you do that. And he's been doing better ever since.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I don't talk about things I have not experienced.
All right. Well, here's another one for the ladies, and we're not picking on the ladies, but because May is Mother's Day this month, we are trying to focus on
Oh,
our ladies.
okay.
So, what advice would you give ladies who find themselves with toxic money habits?
The advice I would give you is listing out what those things are. What are toxic money habits? Like, literally, let's figure out what that is. Is it the fact that you think because you make a lot of money that you're better than your spouse? Maybe your attitude changes. Maybe you don't have any humility behind your finances. Being humble is very important because that can go like that. It doesn't take much to lose everything. Are you one of those people who just spends money on whatever you care about without prioritizing anyone else in the household? That's pretty toxic. If you're walking around looking cute and the kids got corn in their hair, like that's a problem. Some people don't see that as a problem. Like, oh, those kids are fine. No, maybe they want to look pretty too. Maybe she wants to get her hair braided too and some cute little plaits, and she wants her control her edges on fleek and all that. Just do that for the baby too. And so with finances, sometimes parents are like, well, I can only afford to do those things for me. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Because there are people that will do your kids' hair. There are little, inexpensive places you can buy your kids nice clothes like you buy yourself. So it's really just like prioritizing. And I feel like, as moms, it's hard. Self-care for us sometimes is like, I don't really want to spend this. I don't want to spend that. But then there's the other side where some moms have just been like, you know what? I work hard. I'm going to spend my money on whatever I want to spend my money on. And I don't care. That can be toxic. And it may not feel that way because it feels like, well, I'm not selfish or want to take care of myself. But truthfully, when someone else is lacking because you need to feel good about yourself, then that means there's some inner work that needs to be done. So my next piece of advice would be, what does your inside of you look and feel like? How do you look when you have no makeup on? And I'm telling about you in your mom bun, sweats, t-shirt. Do you still feel pretty? I stopped wearing makeup years ago because I was like, I'm done with it. Like, I need to make sure I can look at this and be okay. Be on camera in front of the world and still feel pretty without having concealer on and all that. I put on a little Mary Kay lip gloss just because my lips was a little chapped. That's all. 21 day left. That's all I can see right now. I think Linda's doing some marketing in the back. But yeah, so my advice for that is pretty much just checking in with yourself and exposing what those habits are. Like really thinking about the things you do with your money and be like, that probably is a little. What's the definition of toxic? Look that up. Then figure out what matches with that with your money. List it out and be like, okay, well, how can I address this? And if you don't know that, then you're looking at the person who can help.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do, when you put your mind to it to save money. But my church, we went through a financial fast
Oh yeah.
years back, and you had to think of what's some ways that you could, not spend as much money. And I think, well, I get them done now, but I think I went like maybe 3 years or so doing my own nails. And
Mm-hmm.
then even with your nails, normally a lot of people go every 2 weeks. You can stretch that out to every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, just get the right color and you can't tell,
I
But
do it twice a year.
yeah.
That's it. I just don't have a reason to just go get my nails done all the time. Like, well, just so I can feel good on camera doing like this. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
all about how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep. But there is, but like you say, because I was one, I still like Michael Kors bags, but I was one, every holiday, Mother Day, birthday, they go, what you want? Michael Kors bag. I have a ton of Michael Kors bag. And I was like, wait a minute. I can only carry one bag. And I got all these
Mm-hmm.
tons of bags and they're not cheap, So it's like, I don't need any more bags. Stop it. Stop it. That just doesn't make any sense. So
Right,
sometimes we are
right.
our worst enemy because just because I liked them and somebody was going to buy them or I was going to buy them and I could afford it, that didn't make sense for me to just keep
Just
spending.
because you can afford it. Right.
So,
Right. Well, kudos to you for realizing that. I personally have like 4 or 5 purses. Like I have kids. I just wear my little strap over. I have my little bougie bag I go out of town with, big old Tracy Lynn bag. And it's just a couple of little nice little things I have. But it was just something I got because like, okay, this can work. It has a matching purse. It's a little tote. I can use it to travel. But I didn't go get a bunch of them. I was like, why? It's black, it's versatile. Like, I purposely buy things that can be used continuously.
All
So
right.
quality over quantity, I think, is like the best advice I can give someone who may have that same problem. Like, hey, I just like purses. I like this, I like that. Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
Can it be used consistently? Does it really mean that much, or does it make you feel good?
All
And
right.
what else can make you feel good that doesn't cost $500-$600 a bag?
I go get me a 298 crossword puzzle and sit and relax and chill.
Yes. Love it. In the bubble bath, just chilling with the crossword puzzle. And you'll feel so peaceful versus walking around switching with a purse. It's a different feeling, you know? Right? Like, you see my purse? It's cute, right? You know?
Yeah.
Saving is great, but it's also important that couples know that they can't save themselves into financial freedom. Ooh, come on, Charmaine. You can't. You cannot save yourself into financial. That is correct. There's a fear there. There's a scarcity mindset that people have where they think, oh, I don't want to touch it. Oh, I have money in the account. I don't want to touch it. And they just can't stand to pay bills. So like, as soon as I get paid, here comes the bills. I'm like, well, baby, what were you working for? Gotta
Okay.
keep the lights on. So really learning how to invest as well. I'm involved in so many different industries in the financial space. So that is something that I'm adamant about as well, is investing your money, putting your money in places where it can grow for you. There's many different ways to do this at different levels. But yes, you're absolutely right, Charmaine. You can't save your way to financial. You can't. Like, it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. It needs a purpose. And one thing I'm just gonna stress: money needs direction. It needs a plan. It needs somewhere to go. If you're saving, what's the goal for? Oh, in case something happens? Okay, that's a cool emergency fund, but are we saving for our house? Are we saving for vacations? That's not going to necessarily give you financial freedom. It's going to give your money somewhere to go and a direction to go to. Like, okay, we're saving for a trip to the Bahamas. Okay, that works. We're going to put back this much a month. We're going to put it in this account and make sure that account is growing interest for you. And that is at least a decent amount. Let's not do the one with a bunch of zeros, please. Let's get some numbers in front of that period. Let's do that. So thank you so much, Charmaine, for that comment. I appreciate that. She's
Great.
been with us this whole time. It must be pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for commenting, asking questions. That's what it's all about. This has been a fantastic topic. And I am pretty sure that, hey, Nana.
That's Jermaine. Hi,
Oh,
Jermaine.
okay.
That's
I was
my
gonna
my,
say, is
my
that
nickname.
I'm Nana too.
No, it's a different name. It's they call me Nene.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, so I'm pretty sure that Vito and Linda will have Aunjane back on because it's a topic that everybody can benefit from. And this has been some very valuable information that she has shared today. So I hope that you gleaned a lot from it. If you tuned in late, remember that you can always go back and look at the rewind of the show to see it in its entirety, and it will be well worth your time. Make sure that you share with your friends, your neighbors, family, anyone that you know that can benefit from getting some good financial information.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So again, don't miss out on the Unique Couples Marriage Club, as Vito and Linda share on how to stay motivated, inspired, and transform your marriage as you intentionally, did you hear that word? Intentionally. You have to intentionally work on loving your spouse. You go on a job and you want to get that raise, you want to be recognized as employee of the month. You do some of everything. You try to get creative. You try to be honest, be ethical. But that's intentional. You got to do some of the same things in that marriage. So you want to be intentional and work on loving your spouse. So if you want to learn more about their exclusive marriage club to get discounts for unique couples, in person and virtual events, type hashtag club, CLUB, in the chat, and be sure to register for Unique Couples Marriage Club today. Not tomorrow, next week, but today. So again, Aunjane, thank you so much for this information that you have shared with us today. But please tell everyone how they can get in contact with you via social media, email, however.
Okay. Well, you can find me, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Guidance by AJ. That's my tag. I try to keep it as simple as possible because my job is to guide people. I realize that's my calling in life. You can feel free to email me, but the name of my company is a little different. So we'll probably drop that in the comments when we put this in. But it is connect@ronki.com. And if you go on any of my social media, you will see that website, and that email is located on my website as well. So, and at any given time, just DM me and let me know that you saw this live and you want more information, and I will gladly help you out.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're
Well,
welcome.
again, thank everyone for tuning in today for our Sunday night conversation on unique couples. And at this time, I would just like to give a special shout out to some of the supporters and sponsors of Unique Couples. Hair to Please, The Nail Creation by Anna, Party with Serenity, Style Me Pretty, Cornerstone Insurance, Total Grace Solutions with Thaddeus and Amanda Randolph, Elouette Designs, and Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. And I just want to say that my website is Build Your Best Life, and you can reach me at www.buildyourbestlife.org. And I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I do 3 posts each day on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. As well, on my website, you can see the services that I offer, which is coaching, consultation, speaking, webinar speaking, and you can get an autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. It's about your life, your actions, and your credibility, and overcoming obstacles to build your best life. It makes a great, great gift. It's graduation time. A book is a gift that you will have for the rest of your life. You can read it, go back, refer to it. I have sections in the back that you can complete to assist you. And this book is great for parents, grandparents, students, everyone. So go on my website. Again, it's www.buildyourbestlife.org and get your copy. And if you like the Kindle version, you can also go on Amazon.com. And I also write a blog that comes out each Monday, and I have my calendar of events. So check out Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. And my niche is youth and young adult males, ages 15 to 24, and single mothers with sons. So check out my website.
Oh, I got to learn about you too. I love that.
Okay. So again, join the wait list today for being the wife and acting like the mistress. I know I got y'all excited. Y'all want to go check it out. Y'all got to check out that masterclass, and it's going to be on May 22nd and the 23rd. Reserve your spot. There's going to be 7 ladies from 7 areas going to be sharing never spoken of tips and tricks to enhance your marriage experience. So type hashtag masterclass in the comments in the chat below to reserve your spot. That's hashtag masterclass. So thank you so much again, Aunjane.
You're welcome. This was great.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I picked up some tips. I got my notes here, so I hope everyone else did as well.
Yes.
So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week. And remember, unique couples, building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.